Ready?
Are you recording?
No. Yes.
Okay, let's open it.
What is it? What is it?
Ah!
I get presents
Hold
for
on,
them.
time out. What days are we opening?
Day 12 and day 13
Okay, can I get a
because
picture?
this is day 13.
Oh.
Scout Trooper, and this is day
What is that?
12 TIE Fighter.
TIE Fighter. Do you know what TIE stands for?
Twin Iron Engine.
Twin, it's not iron, but it's something else. I just read it last night because I do lots of Star Wars research.
You do?
I read it on accident. What did you get? Is that a present?
Present.
And what's
And then
That thing?
it's the what's it called, Bri? The ship.
Oh, helicarrier.
The helicarrier.
Oh,
It's just like a minifigure, but really wanting.
yeah.
It's Scout
Well, you
Trooper.
got it now.
Yep.
So stop asking for it.
I'm not. I just wanted it in the admin calendar.
So where we at, guys?
TTOB field.
Mom, are we crazy?
Brayden.
You built it yourself?
Right outside the window. Oh, let's see if it does it. There's B field.
Couple
Are the
people.
kids out yet?
Yes.
Oh, there are kids out. Oh my
And
goodness.
it's only 8:26.
Oh, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't hear it.
What day are we on?
Day 12.
Day 13.
Wait,
13.
does it
13.
say?
Today's
the
13th.
13.
So what are we doing today, Mom?
Brandon, I need some help. I can't figure out how to build it.
Wait, does
We-
this go on this?
I don't know.
I'm being told by the cameraman. We are going to talk about some national parks.
We've gotten some questions on Instagram and YouTube about our national parks, and because we did a video talking about what our favorites were, but people said, well, these are your favorites. Which ones have you been to? Because we said, we've been to like 30,
No.
but which ones have you been to? So we need to tell them.
Yeah.
I know.
We've been to a few.
I'm gonna do it.
So we're going to go outside after you make your smoothie and show them which national parks we've been to and look at our map in more detail, I guess.
Okay, sounds good.
I've got to see this.
I've got to see this.
Okay, so real life RV, what's going on?
So our sink is clogged, and I got underneath to see if I could just remove the P-trap, which is like what you would do in a house, or use a snake. Or, you can't use Drano and stuff in RVs because it's corrosive, and it can ruin your pipes and your gray tank.
We did put baking soda and vinegar.
So we did a fun science experiment with the kids, but that didn't really do anything. It's still clogged. Some of I shaved this morning, and some of my hairs didn't. I tried to wipe most of them up, but didn't work. So we're gonna plug the overflow. You
I
sure
don't know
about-
how this is going to go.
Let's see. Oh, it doesn't fit. So far, nothing. Is this? Oh, this is closed. Maybe that's part of our issue. Who closed it?
Not me.
Okay, let's try again. Let's just see if.
Whoa.
There's more bubbling.
So there's definitely some baking soda stuck down there. So I might go get my other attachment because this doesn't fit cleanly on here like I was kind of hoping. I was hoping this would be like the perfect size to fit over the hole. Oh, see, I gotta cover this because that's. I don't know. It's making fun bubbles.
I like bubbles. It's a volcano exploding.
So first, let's show you B Field. I wanted to show them. So maybe you don't know what TTO is. So TTO is Thousand Trails Orlando, and B Field is where a bunch of rigs back up into their spots, but then it creates like this circle play area for the kids, like a big grassy area. And so the kids love it, and so do the parents, because we can sit here and see our kids all running and playing and having fun, and then the parents can also chat and get to know one another too. So we really like it. It's you definitely have to set boundaries. And we told the kids, we're still having school, like that kind of thing, so that they know.
It's not just a free-for-all.
Yes.
But it's a huge area.
A huge, wonderful area.
And the kids and parents, we've just kind of taken it over the years, I think. I mean, we've parked here a few times. We were in that spot last year. We had friends that were over here. But last time we were here, we were actually just parked right across the street.
Oh, we
Which
really
we
liked
really
that
like.
spot too. Because there's
So
another
we
big
were
grassy area back there.
Back behind this
behind
area.
the trees.
And so we were down where that post is, right there. That was on the corner of our site. So we really like that site too, because they call it like the forest. So back behind these rigs, there's this huge open area with trees. So it's slightly different. That's like the B- field. C
what the-
field is what it's called, because it's the C loop. But B field is where it's at for families, and we take it over. People just, if they want to, like if you've got older folk who don't want to be near kids, they stay clear of
Don't
B-field.
go on B-field because there's
So-
lots of families.
So we wanted to show you our map, give you a little more detailed overlook, and then we have added stickers from every national park. We found this, I think you can get it on Amazon, but this is from Tourist Courts by Pumpernickel Press. It's touristcourts.com. It's Anderson Design Groups. So they make these really cool stickers. So we have one for each national park. So we bought a pack of 63.
Yes,
And our-
at one of the
Arches.
national parks, Arches,
We bought it at
in the
Arches.
visitor center.
Yes, and
So
our
keep an eye
friends, Brian and Aaron, they have a smaller version,
Yes.
and they have them on the inside of their rig on a map, which is really cool. And they just did a video talking about that. But we wanted to show you our travel map. So we still need to add Kentucky.
Yep.
And then we've added, some friends stickers. We did Live Today Like It Matters yesterday, if you saw that. So we just have some friends stickers and then our national park stickers. So we have 3 more national parks to add. And then let's kind of talk about our national parks. So we started, our first national park was in New Mexico at Carlsbad Caverns, which was really cool.
So that's something else we did is we started and we went in order of
Yep.
how we have visited them.
So we talked about some of our favorites. You mentioned in our first video saguaro. So why
Yes.
is saguaro one of your favorites? Just the different cacti?
Yes, so they have all these different saguaro cactus and they are all different and unique. And in order to get to be big like this, they're like hundreds of years
Yes,
old. It was so
crazy.
fascinating.
So you can see we kind of, we made our way through Texas. Our first national park system, our national monument was Waco Mammoth, and that was really cool. That's kind of where we got hooked in Texas. That's in Waco.
Yes. So we missed out on
Yes.
all of these.
And we kind of moved pretty quickly
As far as
through
national
here.
parks, we did.
And there's not many national parks. There's more national monuments as you kind of go through Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. So then we kind of came through Texas and then to New Mexico and did White Sands and Carlsbad Caverns. They were pretty close to each other. And then we went into the Phoenix area and Saguaro, and then we went up north into Grand Canyon, and that's where, that was our first like huge, national park.
Yes. That was really awesome. I
think
have
that's
a
on-
goal. I want to hike to the bottom.
Yes, Tiff wants to hike down to the
So
bottom.
Megan, we should do it one day.
Yes, so the moms are gonna go do it. And then we went up north. We kind of skipped this southwest part of Utah. We came back to this later on. That's where, what do they call it? I should have looked it up.
The Utah,
It's the Fab Five or
Something like that.
Magnificent Five.
something 5, Utah 5.
You guys probably know. Leave a comment. What are these 5 national parks in Utah called? And this is where, when we bought our rig, there was stickers because we bought it from Texas, and so there was stickers, and we didn't have them because we took them off. We weren't thinking.
Well, and then we found found the
yes.
rest of them.
Yes.
So then I was like, oh, well, I can make something on my Cricut. So this one we bought, and this one we bought, but then I made these 2 on
In the California.
and the California because we had to do Mickey
Yes.
because we
And
went to Disneyland.
So what's our rule for calendars? Or not for calendars, for our states for the map.
So we say that we have to do something in
And
the
stay.
state and stay. Oh, it's both.
I thought we had to stay.
Oh.
Because we...
I knew it was do something. You can't just drive through
Yeah.
because we don't feel like that counts.
Yes.
So
I
we
thought
want to
did,
do
you had
something.
to do something. And stay.
And stay. Oh.
So we stayed in all these states.
Yes, we did do both, but I didn't know that was our specific criteria.
So-
well, I don't know. honestly, I don't know how we would not stay
Yeah.
and just do something.
Well, like, you know,
Unless
when
you
we-
just drive across the border one day.
Well, and yeah, like we were in Washington near Spokane, and we went into Idaho, but we stayed in Idaho to do Craters of the Moon. So we came up one national park we missed that we hate that we had to miss because if you didn't know, Tiff was in the hospital. Was Rocky Mountain. So that's one that we definitely want to get back to. We talked about trying to get it on our way back east, but made some changes and didn't go into Colorado.
We went to White Sands
We
with
went
our
to White
friends
Sands.
instead.
Well worth it.
Yes.
But then some other national parks, in South Dakota, we did Badlands, which was really cool.
Badlands.
So
I was
now
just
we're-
talking about that yesterday. So,
now we're up to
Badlands
here. So-
and Theodore Roosevelt were
so we
both
did-
really cool.
Canyonlands, Arches, Wind Cave. And Wind Cave, we didn't get to go in the caves, unfortunately, but we saw tons of bison. And then we went to Badlands and saw tons of bison.
Yes.
And then Badlands and Theodore Roosevelt, we talked about it in the video we did the other day. They really surprised us in how pretty the Badlands were.
And wild horses all over,
Yes.
and bison, and just the animals. It was gorgeous.
And one thing about Badlands, we did not have the opportunity to do this. If we would have done more research, we might have, but then we might have missed out on Teddy Roosevelt, is there is some boondocking in the area.
Yes,
that have
and I've seen some
amazing
gorgeous
views
Yeah.
of the Badlands. So
We really liked Badlands, and our kids really liked it because it's all these hills, and so it was easy to just let them go hike because nothing was super tall, so they weren't going to hurt themselves, and everything was like a gradual like dome, so it was easy for them to climb up somewhat, but then they were helping each other climb up we have some pictures, helping each other climb up the dome, and they just loved it.
and it's so unique because it looks like it's just going to crumble under you.
Yes.
It's like
So
dirt.
when it rains and you have a mud puddle, but then it dries it out and it looks cracky, like that's what it looked like all over the place.
But it's stone.
It was so
and it
crazy.
erodes. Like, so every time you go back, it could look completely different.
Yes, it was really cool.
So then
So next,
was Yellowstone.
oh,
You
we're
skipped
going
a
this way.
bunch, yeah.
Yellowstone. So, and then we drove into the Grand Teton just one day because we were on the opposite side of Yellowstone. But Yellowstone, we spent 10 days.
We were in the area for 10 days.
And it was gorgeous. That was, when we did it the other day with all of our favorite parks, that was one, it was hard not to put that on there because it's so diverse. And so it was hard not to mention it because it was so gorgeous and just so unique.
So we already talked about Glacier, Grand
Oh,
Tetons.
yeah.
We didn't stay, we only did one day driving into Grand Tetons. That's one I would like to explore more. There's
Yes.
tons of hiking there.
I think it was at least a 2.5 hour
Yes,
drive
from where we stayed.
from where we stayed to get there. That's why we only got to do one day.
Yeah. So then Glacier, we've already talked about
Yep.
that, but that was epic. And then Olympic, we've talked about. North Cascades, we've talked about. And then we get up to Mount Rainier, which we've talked about.
Crater Lake, I think we talked about in the other one.
That one is such a cool park.
It was gorgeous. This lake was gorgeous.
The blue
Our
colors.
only thing was that it was smoky. When we were there, there were a bunch of forest fires.
There were some days we had clear views where we could see everything, and some days where we couldn't see the lake.
There were a couple days that it was like you could feel it. It was
Yes.
kind of hard to breathe, and so I would want to go back at a different time.
Yes.
Not wildfire season.
And one thing we missed, and we were so sad that we missed it, was hiking down to the bottom of the lake. There's only one trail that goes down to the bottom of the lake, and the day we got there, we're not prepared because it's a steep hike up. You can get down easy, but you have to get back out.
Yep.
It's like the Grand Canyon. You can going down is optional, going up is not. So Crater Lake, there's one path, lots of switchbacks to get down, but then you can swim in the lake, and it's cold.
And it was a warm day,
It would've
but
been
we didn't
perfect.
have camelbacks filled or anything like that.
We
We
didn't have
weren't
enough
we weren't
water.
ready. We planned the next day, had everything ready, but it was closed because they were doing maintenance on the trail. So we didn't get to do it then. And then we had one more day, so they closed it for 2 days, and we left the day that it would have been opened.
Yes.
So we'll have to go back and do that. Redwoods was one of our favorites, and the kids. Just being able to climb all around, and we did the state park side probably more, and they were able to do more because we were in California. This is still the pandemic, and so they had, I don't know, it was just different. They were able to
The state
do
parks
more
had more
freedom?
leniency. Yeah, and freedom.
leniency.
So then from Redwoods, and I think what was really cool about Redwoods is there were so many walking paths, and it's really flat, and you get to see, you know, these huge trees. So super unique. And then Yosemite was another one that we really loved.
Yep.
And that was another one that was tough because of the time of year we went, and it was the waterfalls and some of those epic things you want to see were dried up.
And there also were wildfires.
Lots of wildfires.
So, and I want to say, so Redwood, it's these two are next to each
Yes,
other.
Kings Canyon and Sequoia are essentially one park.
And we had fun there too.
Two parks, but they're connected. You drive from one to get to the other.
And we did this. We drove
Yes,
through
we
the
drove
tree.
through the tree. And huge. I mean, just, you know, these massive, you know, just like Redwoods. You couldn't get up to them like you could at Redwood.
Right. They had a lot more boardwalks so that you didn't walk on the roots of the tree, and they were more protected that way.
Joshua Tree was really hot.
Really hot.
So
We're
we
talking
didn't-
like over 100.
Yeah, so we didn't
So
do
that
any
was a
hikes.
day. No.
It was more drive.
And we want to go back because we've heard and seen some cool hikes, and you can get up close to the trees. But it was so incredibly hot. We just did the loop through and drove and did Junior Ranger and that kind of stuff.
And if you have the opportunity, the stars there are supposed to be amazing.
Yes.
One park that would have been next would have been Death Valley, and we just didn't have time, and we were further away than we thought. So that's one we want to go back to.
And when we visited that area, it was over 100.
Every day at night.
And Death Valley is even hotter.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
It would have been a 2.5
wasn't
hour
the time.
drive to get there.
Bryce, definitely one of our favorites.
So then we're at the last of the Fab Five, or Magnificent Five, in Utah. So Bryce, Capitol Reef, and Zion are just, you know, those epic, you know, must-see parks.
And we hiked the hoodoos.
Yes,
we hiked down
the
among the hoodoos.
And that was so cool.
That was about 3 miles. It was so fun.
We kind of mentioned, we had a mention of Petrified, and that was one that really surprised us too, because it's one that doesn't get a lot of love. But it was really cool. It's something you can easily spend a day at. It's right off the interstate, so you can easily just drive through it, see the cool trees, do a couple hikes, and then leave. I mean, we did a day and a half there, and it was well worth it, I think.
Yeah.
We camped at a really cool spot too.
Yes, for like $15.
Yeah.
Right outside the park.
Yeah, I had 30 amp power right outside the park in one of the gift shops. And then there's Gateway, which is just a cool place, and it kind of completed the story for us because of Lewis and Clark.
Yes.
And being able to go to so many, you know, we got to see some of the cool sites, you know, in Montana and Washington and Oregon, you know, just the path that they took, and their path from, you know, St. Louis to the coast and then back. So we got to see some cool places, so it was kind of nice to, you know, be able to complete that path.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure, because we went all the way up to Fort Clatsop, which is where they camped when they got up here and for the winter. And so to be able to see where they started and see where, you know, making it all the way across, we thought that was really cool for the kids.
And so that leaves our next 3 that we have recently visited: Mammoth Cave, which we kind of talked about,
Biscayne Bay, and Everglades. So we have to add these.
So we were talking about, I was like, there's one more park that I couldn't remember that would be on my 3 low list, and that would be Biscayne. Because
it's like 80 or 90% water, the park.
Yes.
So if you're kayaking, if you're paddleboarding, if you're on a boat, if you do one of their tours, then that's the place to go. But if you're just there to hike and see the sights, there wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
The visitor center was really cool and very interactive. So I will say that. But as far as getting out there, we didn't do any of those things there. So it was an easy, like, half-day trip.
And
we actually,
because of the cost.
Yes, for 6 of us. So we actually went over to Everglades. So we did both of those in one day.
Yeah, they're probably 30 minutes from each other.
And we wanted to do Everglades again, and it always happens. We run out of time. But that was really cool what we saw there too.
But we're in Florida.
Yep, so we can go back. And that was the other thing. We knew that we wanted to, there's a campground not too far from Everglades, so we talked about going there.
Encore Park with 1,000 Trails. So this is our map. If you have questions, leave a comment down below.
Tell us, have you been to any of these, and what's your favorite?
What is your favorite national park? We have so many that we could say is our favorite, and it's so hard to narrow it down. So let's count. How many have we been to?
29.
So 29 national parks, and then we've
Out
been
of
to
60,
a couple.
is there 63 or 64?
63.
63.
So, like, there's some that we probably won't get to, like Dry Tortugas.
Yeah.
If anybody has a boat in South Florida and wants to take us, it's a
Yep.
family of 6, we will gladly join you.
Yes. That would be awesome.
That is our map. That is our national park stickers. We got a couple more to add. What are we doing tomorrow? What's tomorrow's video going to be about?
Decorating the
You're
RV.
decorating
We got
our-
our Christmas decorations out of storage. And so now we need to decorate.
We will see you
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
See you real soon.
All ye faithful, joyful and triumphant, come